This conference will now be recorded.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the May 19th, 2025 regular council meeting. I'll call to order at 6:30 p.m. All right, pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have one addition to the agenda tonight. We'll put it under new business, number 10. It's the letter of support for the BEAD program. So I think every council member has a copy of that letter. Any other additions or corrections to the agenda? Anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the agendas as written with the addition of 10B, letter of support for the broadband program, and some previous discussed correction to the, oh, no, wrong place.
Slow your roll.
Stop at that.
Okay. Thank you, Dale. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Norman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Motion carried. Very good. Mayor's report, Citizen of the Month, and Councilor Norman has this opportunity tonight. An honor, so I'll turn it over to Councilor Norman.
I picked Rob Wilson for Citizen of the Month. A long-time, full-time resident of Vernonia, which has volunteered in many things. Go back clear to things that we forget about now is the JCs. A lot of people don't remember they were here, but they were. He's helped with the Boy Scouts, a bunch of that. And he's taken quite an interest in taking care of the Shea and the jail down at Shea Park, keeping it looking good for us. And he helped deliver a lot of senior foods until he had some health issues, and then that cut back. He's helped with both of the 96 and 2007 flood, did a lot of work for them. And he's worked with the seniors in the 80s and 90s on stuff. And he is a Grange member, which he's got a Grange meeting tonight, so he won't be able to stick around too long. So it's a privilege to me to honor Mr. Rob for all the good help he's done for our community.
I'm taking your picture.
That's
For
all right.
Scott, since he's out here.
Want me to do it so I can post it on my sites?
Yeah, there you go. Picture of the day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Rob. It was a pleasure. Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations, Rob.
It's fun to do it. Vernonia.
You were awesome,
Good
Rob.
job, buddy. Thanks for all you do.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, we share our names. So.
And it's not dead yet, and I'll still be doing it. You know, there's a lot of things to do. I got to paint that jail right
Okay.
now. Maybe.
The old donkey.
I already did that,
Yeah.
so.
Well, and you got to jump in Dewey Pool when we get it up again. Haven't you done that every year of your life?
Check it out.
Jumped in Dewey Pool.
Say that word.
Jumping into Dewey Pool.
The
Jumping,
pool?
yeah.
Every year.
I'm still thinking I might not do that this year.
Why?
But I've said that every year.
I know.
Well, there's no sense in putting the dam up.
And now, I guess, so.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I have to.
Yeah.
So, thank you all.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rob.
I'll go to the Grange.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the oldest. That's been here since 1903 in Vernonia.
Wow.
And that building since 1907.
Nice.
Arranged. So, all right, thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Good night, Rob.
Bye now.
I'm a historian.
Any presentations tonight? No? Any council committee meeting reports?
Nope.
No. Okay, moving right along. Topics from the floor. Consent agenda for acceptance, consent agenda for approval, city council meeting minutes for April 28th, 2025, and city council meeting minutes for May 5th, 2025.
Here's where I'll move to approve the consent agenda for approval with some changes to the April 28th meeting.
I put the wrong, there's on April 28th, I entered the votes.
Oh, yeah.
Counselor Weller was then in favor. He was present. Counselor Webb was not there, so did not vote. And then some spelling errors in May 5th.
Okay, so motion's been made to accept those two meeting minutes with those, noting those two errors that have been changed. And so is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Counselor Weller. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, none opposed, motion carried. Any unfinished business tonight? No. New business. A, Public Works Committee recommendation, pedestrian improvement plan. Page 5 through 7.
Can I give you a little intro?
Absolutely.
So back in August of 2022, Betty Fassett came to our Public Works Committee meeting to share the Vernonia sidewalk maps with us, and those have all the locations of existing concrete sidewalks and the locations of the waivers that are within the city limits. And the purpose of this meeting was to use the new city in lieu funds, and our committee was tasked with identifying pedestrian improvement projects for that fund. So the project plan report map that you have there in your packet represents the culmination of our work, where we reviewed a lot of prior studies, reports and analysis. We reviewed maps and other city data, and we considered the prioritization based on the speeds and the volumes, attractions and generators, pedestrian activities, facility type, and cost. Ben also has larger scale copies of that same map in case you're interested in seeing those. It's a little bit hard to read. It's just scale like that. Other than that, the report is pretty self-explanatory, but I can answer any questions.
Go ahead, Neil. Oh, I thought you, boy, a lot of work, and thank you for all this. It's really interesting to see where and when and why and what we need to fix.
Keeping it on your radar because you might be in the area,
Yeah.
and you can incorporate something into something else you're doing or that kind of thing, where we can stay in it.
So there is a larger map we can,
Yeah, Ben has one. It's very big and it's much easier to.
oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's easy.
so can you tell me which is the priority? Is it the red dotted or?
Yes.
Because I can't even
everything
read.
that's marked in those bubbles are prioritized, because there's plenty of other areas in the city where there are no sidewalks. But we're not suggesting that we just go and put sidewalks everywhere. There are other places where we look at high pedestrian activities, for instance. That would be a good place where the kids are walking to school. That would be a prioritized location. But yeah, each of those within those bubbles corresponds to the list, the bulleted list in the report.
Okay.
And since the SCA grant, the Small Cities Allotment Grant, is gearing more and more every year towards pedestrian improvements, this will be helpful. So if we go to do a street with a repaving, they'll pay for that pedestrian improvement as part of that grant. So having these identified kind of keeps us, when we talk about a street, incorporating the pedestrian need as well. So it's really helpful.
Yeah.
like maybe a good example of that would be the State Avenue restoration, Josette.
Yeah, more, since states federally
Oh,
identified, it's a little bit different. The sidewalks exist there. And even though the ramps need improvements, but like Rose Avenue, Louisiana, if we go to pave Louisiana, we know a lot of the homes up there have students at the school. And maybe you don't put sidewalks on both sides, but you put it on one
one side.
pedestrian. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So just having these sitting there,
yeah.
view them when we go for those types of grants and incorporate them. So that the fee and lieu money goes further if we can incorporate some of these with grants.
Very good. Any other questions? Thank you, Sheila. Okay, we're going to include the letter of support for the BEAD program. I'll have a copy and I actually brought this through Molly Miller, I believe is her name, from the county. And I met her, well, we met, Susan and I met her at the city county dinner. And so she sent an email to me and then I forwarded it to Josette. And Josette actually did all this work to put this letter together. So you want to speak a little bit on it, Josette? You're gonna.
This was the first opportunity we had to bring it forward to you guys as a letter of support for your approval. Typically that happens in a council meeting. I thought we were going to miss their deadline, but because of the changes in some of the rules at the federal level, state of Oregon put a stay and kind of postponed their deadline. And so I got back in contact with her and she said, oh, absolutely, we'd love it. So if you guys are in approval of this, then the mayor can sign it and I can scan it and send it to her to include in their application.
Yeah. So the original deadline was May 12th.
Yeah.
So we were able to help out a little bit. So if we can get approval, go ahead, Dale.
So in the last meeting, we discussed there was other vendors.
Yeah, so any fiber optic vendor is allowed to put in an application in this program. The county's trying, so the areas are the school district zones, right, of each city for what is included in the unincorporated Columbia County. So the county is trying to go for one application with a specific telecom provider for the county to build a system that serves the unincorporated county that's under county management. So yes, we got applications asking, would we support, like it was Blue Cloud or something, applying. And the county said, hey, if all the cities are willing, we want to go for a county managed system for the unincorporated areas, which seems like a little bit of a better idea versus Ziply having our district and somebody else having Clatskani's district and someone else having Rainier's district, because the service isn't going to be kind of altogether county-wide. So the county with RSG Telecom is going for a county-wide plan. And they're hoping they'll have more success than the individual just companies wanting to serve the districts.
And they've already pre-selected them who.
They've been doing meetings, the broadband advisory committee for probably 4 months now.
Okay.
And they went through and saw what different telecom companies could serve, how they could serve them, and they picked this one.
My last question, I mean, you and I discussed this before, it was kind of odd because
They have,
in Vernonia, it's external to Vernonia, but they're wanting the town's support.
yeah,
Seems,
but they're wanting all the towns' support for their district areas, because part of it is not so much the unincorporated Columbia County, but they're kind of basing it on the students within the city district that aren't served, because broadband and that kind of connectivity has become so instrumental in schoolwork that they're trying to get all the districts and the cities to support one application to serve all the students in the remote areas. Yeah, it is weird because other than maybe they pay a franchise fee to go through us or something to the areas, that's about all the city has skin in the game with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's more to kind of support the district, school district. There's probably over half of the 500 students that are K through 12 don't have broadband. In fact, there's over 300.
Yeah.
That's
They could have some connectivity, but they are using satellite or they're using dial-up, which is way slower. So it is really not as effective for the students out in those areas.
oh,
So we just,
their discussion or comments or questions. Oh,
I guess the typical one,
okay.
how well is the county going to make sure they come out here and serve us? On some of our other stuff, we don't get as good a service because we're in the outline.
I don't know that it's a direct connection only because this is like a specific application. I don't know that it's any leverage for us to like get them to serve us with patrolling or any of those other things we'd love to have. Because it's really specific for their application, what they are going to provide, if that makes sense. I'd like, if it could be used as leverage, Counselor Norman, but I don't know that it can.
Right, but I mean, are they going to come out here in a year and start installing stuff, or 2 years to make it available to people?
Well, they'll have their own stipulations from the grant, which I don't know what those are. I don't know how quickly they have to do it. I'm assuming it's within 5 years because past that, I think technology will change and it won't really be able to do whatever they proposed or new technology will be on board. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of the BEAD grant.
Yes. We can at least say we're trying to move forward.
Yeah.
So I guess we need to entertain a motion to
Authorize you.
support this letter of support from the Benoni City Council.
So moved.
So moved. Second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Counselor Webb. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Motion carried. Thank you. Oh. Business from the departments.
So the sergeant just included the April calls for service sheet that he didn't have in his last report. So I wanted to get those to you guys. He isn't here tonight because he has to transport or follow the votes for the election tomorrow night. So he swapped nights. But if you have any questions, just email him or give him a call.
Okay. Any correspondence? Okay. City administrator report.
All right, so DEQ, I've been working with Ian. He's still working on the project, but the money is earmarked for us, so it will be happening. It's just going to be happening on DEQ's timeline because of their cyber attack. They're still behind getting everything cleaned up. The ADA project, as you can see, probably, I always give this to you guys the Wednesday before and they're already halfway done with the work, but the meetings are on Tuesday, so that's just how it goes. They're currently on Grant Avenue, Park Drive, and Adams Avenue. We're hoping with them going all the way up to the abutment of the bridge that they'll solve that trip hazard that we have there. Because it was never ours to fix. It was always ODOT's to fix. So we're hoping that that'll be a smooth transition from the bridge to the sidewalk. They're digging a lot of Shea Park, which I was when I drove by this morning, I was like, wow, that's a lot of a corner, but they've stayed within their footprint. So I think that's going pretty good. And I haven't had any public complaints or issues, I always take those to the group when I meet with them every Tuesday on Zoom. But it seems like everything's going kind of to plan. The senior exercise path, the installation of that started, and then the cemetery needed to be mowed for Memorial Day and it started pouring down rain. So we're not going to do stuff in the rain and make it muddy because it's going in so nicely, but that's still in the works. They're still putting down the weed fabric barrier. They're going to put the cedar chips, and then we're trying to specifically time the concrete pouring so that we do it in a day when there aren't a ton of baseball games and softball games, because we don't want someone to accidentally tip one of the things and have them get cemented in askew, because we'll have to pull them out of the ground, knock off all the concrete and start again. So we're timing that installation for the least amount of children in the park. The flower baskets were picked up from Quincy Greenhouse and are hanging up now. The Memorial Day ceremony, we're assisting the American Legion, setting up the Memorial Day ceremony at the cemetery. The service will be the 26th at 11. And then I signed the audit contract and the auditors were here today. So they went through kind of getting familiarized with our system, asking staff different questions. And then we'll be sending them documents and stuff. And then they will be doing the single audit for the CDBG before the end of the year, which is a special audit where they just look at the sewer project and how all of those funds, were they all appropriately asked for and given and following all those rules. Upcoming meetings were closed next Monday for Memorial Day. And then we have June 2nd and June 16th will be when we bring you guys the budget to be approved for the new fiscal year. You guys have any questions for me?
I can add to the Memorial Day service. I did contact the sergeant on Friday just to let them know we're still hoping for a flyover. She was very polite and nice, and she said, we'll let you know this week.
Okay.
She said, Rick, I have your phone number.
Okay.
It's either they're going to be F-15s. They're not Blue Angels. They're F-15s. Or you're going to be out of the Portland base or Klamath Falls.
Okay.
So fingers
There's a
crossed.
chance.
Good feeling. They might. I saw the weather. It's kind of 50% chance of rain, so we'll see. But also have a bagpiper coming in from Astoria, Cascadia bagpiper, John. I can't remember his last name. He's going to be there. He'll play 3 songs. So that'd be pretty cool. So.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dale.
So I noticed the ramp designs have changed from what we were requested to put in to what they're putting in. Have you noticed there's no bulb outs?
No, so I can show you the consort. That's the same design that they required. I think where the bulb outs start is the downtown.
Yeah, but then we poured kind of little bulb out.
Yeah, they required that at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know, the straight stretch, they're not requiring those. I think because there isn't a ton of parking the way there is in the downtown core or the homes right up to that. Really, bulb outs are a line of sight tool. You put them where you keep cars back so that the line of sight to the pedestrians is good. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That's just how Consort designed them and got approved.
Yeah, which I'm not complaining.
Yeah. I like no bulb outs.
Bulb outs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I really feared they were going to do what we saw here.
Yeah.
And our streets are narrow enough.
Right.
Per our conversation, I did end up talking to Jim Hillman,
Oh,
and he said he could round up some manpower for the
Oh,
Legion.
okay.
And I talked to Bill Sherman Saturday night at bingo
okay,
and
good,
told him to get a hold of Jim. So
good. Okay. Well, I'll be ready.
young blood up there putting in poles.
Yeah. When do you want to do that, Dale? On Thursday?
I'll contact Jim and just see what he's,
Yeah, well, Bill Sherman's doing it.
yeah,
Okay.
it might be during the day. It might be an activity for the kids
I don't know.
potentially. So I'll get in contact with Bill and Jim and see what their plan
Yeah.
is. Because I can, if they don't want to hoof them all around, I can get the trailer and truck up there.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to coordinate with you. for the
Yeah,
flags.
Okay. But then, yeah, the Lions and the Boy Scouts will be doing the crosses and the service member flags on Thursday. Because our last day to mow is Wednesday. That Mitch was up there weed whacking headstones today to get a head start on it. He had done certain ones because as we have services, they always kind of clean up the sites around a service. Just because, we're there and we're getting it all prepped up. And so and then Ben will go help with whatever is left to do on Wednesday.
All right.
Okay. Anything else, Dale?
Nope.
Okay, thank you, Josette. And items from the mayor and councilors. Go ahead, Susan.
I will be meeting with Josette tomorrow to go over some things I learned at the League of Oregon Cities Conference, because I felt it was more appropriate to go through her before bringing stuff out publicly. I mean, it's just stuff I learned, and I wanted to make sure I was going through the correct process to step in order.
Okay,
Good conference, though. I recommend everybody go to it.
I think Brown's doing a good job. It's pretty narrow crossing the bridge with log trucks and school buses and their equipment and so, but I've noticed, and I go through there a lot during the day, and everyone's taking their time, and they got a good amount of flaggers and so doing the best we can. So it's going pretty good, I think, but.
I went through there right after school while you were driving too. And it did back up for whole 2 city blocks to get through. But everybody's paying attention at the intersections or leaving the intersections open, which usually people don't. They crowd up, oh, I'm in the way, and
Yeah.
nowhere to go. So
And we had to wait for an excavator, and then he had a vibrator. They were
Factor on there, yeah.
finishing up their day, and
yeah, it's going to be interesting, that one they're doing off the bridge. And not only the trip hazard on the bridge abutment, but we also had a panel there that I'd mentioned to you.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get it too.
Yeah, I think so.
I know they ended up fixing the one that used to be in front of Washington Grade School.
Mhm.
It was broke, and I see they redid that panels
Yeah,
part of the project, so we're scoring.
yeah. It's working out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the traffic tie-ups have been
No,
at all.
no, they haven't been. I mean,
People are just so happy to see it done.
yeah.
yeah,
Well, it made me want to, I was sitting there thinking, man, I could get a surface cleaner and we could clean that black sidewalk so they all look gray. Like in my brain, I'm like, it would look really nice if we could just clean that sidewalk. Because they go, the moss and just the buildup on our sidewalk right abutting that gray. It's just like,
Yeah.
it'd be nice just to take one of those surface cleaners and go up and down that thing and clean it up.
one of the student stops for one of our school bus drivers was right there where they're working. So they adapted and they went around the block and were able to safely let off the kids. But so it's a team effort.
Yeah.
Working good. So anything else? I think we're ready for an action item summary then.
Well, I just have that I'm going to have you sign the letter and I'm going to scan it to the county for the BEAD program letter of support. And then I'm going to get with Jim and Hillman and Bill Sherman about the flag installation for Memorial Day using the muscle from the school.
They take them down too?
I would assume so. They probably just have 2 events. It doesn't, with a lot of hands, it doesn't take us very long. It's the time periods where we had like 8 people and we were all mid to older age. Very struggle.
Calling to help again.
Okay, I'll let them know. Because even if, you just have someone clipping them and making sure the flag doesn't touch the ground and they just hoist them up and it goes up like clockwork. You just put the poles on the trailer and drive it. I drive my car with the bins in the back with the top open and just like a little dance up there. And it's kind of a fun,
People hold
kind of a fun
flag,
activity.
one
Clips them.
clipping on the pole and the
Yeah.
other keeping them off the ground. It works good.
Yeah. It's kind of a fun activity.
Yeah. So, okay, well, why don't we adjourn this meeting at 7:00 PM? Meeting adjourned.